If you want to be able to turn your cold leads, your ice cold leads, I'm talking about they get on the call and they don't even know who you are, they don't even know why they're on the call, to people that are red hot, people that know, like, and trust you, then you need to watch this video, okay? This entire video breaks down this new outreach strategy that I've been using. Yes, it's actually new. It's not something you've never heard before. Well, in fact, no, you've definitely never heard of this before. It's not something that you've heard before and I'm wrapping it. No, this is completely different outreach, completely different outbound that's working so well in today's market, okay? So watch and learn. Let's go. Amazing. So if you're absolutely tired of leads having endless objections, wishing you could work with whales only, and tired of leads being cold, then this is absolutely for you, okay? This strategy's worked so unbelievably well. All right, let's get into it. So, first thing you're probably thinking is, what in tarnation do you know about outbound? Why should I listen to you? Why does your dumb ass know about outbound? Very, very fair. So, who am I? My name is Dan James, and I'm the founder of Thakos, a content agency that's oscillating between 21 to 30K a month. And I'm the co-founder of Linko. And Linko is a brand new offer doing $0 a month. So I'm going to be very transparent there. And as I said before, I have the best outreach ever, and I have tons of social proof and examples, but it'll be later in the document. So I'm not gonna bombard you too quickly, but let's break down the system, okay? Amazing. So, unique outreaches. So, instead of sending a generic email, you create something very unique and specific for a prospect, okay? So, there are a couple of ways to go about this. I'm going to break down all of them. But even before I get into all that, I just want to impress this upon you. You've got to think about what your prospect's going through. They're getting so much shit, they're getting so much crap in their DMs, and by coming with something unique, it allows you to cut through the noise, and that's the key thing that we must do here, okay? So super videos. This is something that I've done many times. You make a movie for one specific client and send it to them, and but it has to be absolutely remarkable, like truly remarkable. It can't just be some generic nonsense. It has to be something that that the prospect thinks, wow, this is very, very insane. Another one is physical goods. You send them something in real life, something that makes them 100% notice you. People have sent direct mail, like mail in the post, but that's not good enough. You need to send an actual physical good. One dude sent a coconut, for goodness sakes. Another one is a strategy document. You send a full detailed breakdown of how you can help them scale with your specific service. But today we're analyzing a super video, okay? This is one that a friend of mine did to get on a call with an absolutely massive prospect, and it worked so well for him. So we're gonna analyze how to do this, okay, and how you can do it. So the result, the call was booked. Call was booked. Now, here are the details of the prospect, okay? So my friend Aiden is the one doing the outreach, but this is the people he's reaching out to. So he's reaching out to JT Acquisitions, excuse me, JT Acquisitions, and JT Acquisitions details, they report approximately around $7.85 million assets under management. So they're an asset management firm. $3 million total funds raised, and they have 107 units owned / managed, okay? So this is a big business. They're doing great money, they're doing great numbers. So you need to actually make sure you gain their attention. You can't just send them some generic email, okay? So JT Acquisitions is a company that helps people invest in apartment buildings without having to buy and manage the properties themselves. Instead, investors contribute capital and receive a share of the profits if the projects perform well. So this is a company that's doing well, okay? It's a big company. You've got to work to gain their attention. So the potential LTV of this could be $25,000 and up. So like, think about this. $25,000 in your pocket, maybe not even in your pocket, but let's say you're working on 50% margins. 15 bloody grand, like that's amazing. Like 15 rounding up, but like 15K, that's incredible. Like 12.5, it's really good. So they're a market leader. That's the point. They're a big business. They're a market leader doing great numbers, okay? And we've got to think about how we can gain their attention. So why can't we just send them an email? Now we can't just send them an email because it will not work. The prospect does not care. Think from JT Acquisition's perspective. You have $7.8 million assets under management. Will you take your precious time to respond to something generic? No. It's completely unfair to expect them to take time out of their precious day to respond to a generic email. Why would they? It's a complete waste of their time. They've already got, think about how much money you have under management. $7.8 million? You've got a lot of work to do. You've got tons of stuff to do, and you want to do nothing but get more business under management. So of course, they're not going to respond. So the next thing is you cannot just send them a generic email because no expertise is shown. So if you just send them a cold email, a business this big only wants to work with absolute experts. How can you tell that from a random cold email? So even if you are the absolute best in this niche, in this industry, they might not even know you exist. You might not even gain their attention. In order to have somebody pay you money, you have to gain their attention first, okay? This is the law of every single business that's ever existed ever. If you don't know a business exists, you can't pay them, okay? So you have to get round the fact that they don't know you exist. And the issue with cold email and the issue with cold DMs is that you are at the mercy of getting their attention. You need to be able to cut through that and gain their attention no matter what. Amazing. Next thing is spam and phishing. So big businesses actively do not respond to emails due to hacking, phishing, etc. A lot of businesses will, and I used to work for the Big Four, I used to work for Deloitte, we used to get training around not responding to emails. So you need to be that person that says, all right, cool, I'm going to go so above and beyond. I'm going to make sure that this person sees the work that I've done for them, okay? And sending a generic cold email won't do that, okay? That's why it just fails miserably. So a super video solves all of these issues. So let's look at the video that was done for him and the result, the ensuing result that we did. So we're gonna break this down in full.
The water temperature is 31.5 degrees. Janish, Teddy, and the team at JT Acquisitions. My name's Aiden, and I drove all the way here from Waukee, Iowa in the dead of winter to show you just how serious I am about helping you solve a major problem. Now, you guys are experts at turning real estate into exceptional opportunities with amazing returns, but you guys have a blind spot, a gap in your strategy that's costing you millions in potential capital. And to prove how committed I am to helping you solve this problem, I drove 5 hours through the night, started at 1 a.m. this morning, to show you how committed I am to helping you solve this problem. So behind me is Lake Michigan in February.
So that's a crazy hook, okay? And what he's done a great job of teasing what's to come, so they're at the edge of their seat. And he's saying, my name's Aiden. He's explaining why he's reached out to them because they're thinking, who the hell is this man? And he's saying, you guys are very good at this, but you have an issue. They call it a shit sandwich. Good, good, bad, good. And that works very, very, very well. So I'm not even JT Acquisitions and I'm on the edge of my seat, okay? Think about that from a prospect.
And right now, the water temperature is 31.5 degrees and the air temperature is 13 degrees. This is how cold your potential investors feel when they see your content and have no...
So you get the idea. He's done something remarkable. He jumped in a freezing lake where you literally could die if you're not careful to gain their attention. Think about that from the prospect's perspective, as I say again. They're now seeing someone, they're going, wow, this person's clearly very committed to us and our business. We have to talk to them. So do you see, he's done tons of work to gain their attention. We are 1 minute and 30 in, and he's talked a little bit about their business, but this is just, stop and listen. Stop and listen to what I've got to say. Now I can pitch you, okay? It's almost as if you have to earn the right to pitch whales. You have to earn the right to pitch the person that's making millions a month. You can't just pitch them, okay? They're gonna think, who the hell are you? And that's fair, because these people only want to work with experts. So now we've done that, now we can...
Drier and a lot more warm. I want to tell you, I did my homework on you guys, and what I found honestly shocked me. On your Instagram, you've posted 525 times. That's 525 pieces of content. That's a massive amount of time, energy, and resources that you could have dedicated to utilizing your vertically integrated model to grow your portfolio. And do you know how many followers you have? 616. That means you've posted almost as many times as you have followers. See, you're working incredibly hard, but you're shouting into a void. And Facebook, I don't even want to talk about it. You have 15 followers. I also found this article that you wrote back in June. The importance of marketing and branding your syndication firm. Look, you clearly understand that marketing matters, but here's the brutal truth. You know it. You're not doing the one thing that would actually execute on this strategy. You're creating great content, but you're not running any...
Do you see how he's now highlighting this is the problem you have? Aiden's very intelligent. What he's done here is he's broken down in detail, this is what you're doing, you know it's important and you're failing. It's a very, 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 very easy sell. The article that he's used is using their argument against them. You guys already know you should be doing this, but you're doing it incorrectly.
That's paid advertisements to actually amplify the results. You're leaving millions of dollars in potential capital on the table because accredited investors simply don't know you exist. I've been watching your content. You guys are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You guys are literally everywhere. You're posting videos about leadership and execution and company culture. You're educating people about multifamily investments and how to scale a portfolio. You're building your personal brand across multiple channels. But here's the main problem. What happens after someone watches one of those videos? They might like it. They might even comment on it. But then
So now, excuse me, what he's doing is he's breaking down the funnel in full. He's saying you're facing these problems, and of course the solution to their problem is him. But you have to explain why your solution makes sense. You can't just assert it. You have to highlight, this is the problem, this is why it matters, this is why I'll make you more money.
They just scroll to the next video. There's no system to capture that interest and turn it into an investor conversation or into a sales brief. So you're putting in the hard 8 leaders, and you've designed a vertically integrated model which gives you a huge advantage in the real estate syndication space. You've raised $3 million to date, but let's be honest. For a firm with your team's talent and ambition, you should be scaling a whole lot faster.
Great, that's very intelligent. You're saying you guys could be doing more. You're raising the bar. Raising the bar is an excellent thing to do because it makes people want to.
On networking and referrals to raise capital is slow and unpredictable. And if you want to rise to the level of giants like the ones that own Willis Tower, you're going to need a scalable and predictable system to acquire investors. That's exactly what I built for you. So here's what I do. I build done-for-you investor acquisition systems for funds and syndications. The entire funnel, from the ad creative to the VSL to the landing pages to the email sequences. In fact, I've already built your entire funnel. It's in the Gamma doc linked in the.
Do you see? He's explained, he got their attention, worked very hard to gain their attention. He highlighted their problem. Then he said, this is the solution. In fact, here's the solution. You're thirsty. Take it. Take it. They're thirsty. They need leads. Here's the water. Do you see how that looks so good on camera? See how it's such an easy sell? Because he's done all the work. But what happens with cold outreach, 99.9% of outreach is this. Take the water. They don't even know if they're hungry yet. They don't even know if they're thirsty. You've got to get their attention, ask them if they're thirsty, explain why they need to drink more water, explain that it will lead to a better life, then say, would you like some water? And the answer is gonna be yes. Yes, I would like some water. Do you get the difference? Amazing. I love this, man. So passionate about this. Cool.
Same email that you're receiving this video in. You could literally launch it yourselves if you wanted to. But here's why you should let me run it for you. This is a 90-day sprint. We go from kickoff to live funnel in 14 days. Then I manage and optimize the campaign for a full 90 days. The ad spend, the creatives, the landing pages, the email sequences, A/B testing, optimization, media buying, all of it. We track everything, every KPI and metric that could impact the bottom line and how much revenue you're actually bringing in, how much capital you're raising.
Now, let's take a moment. Does this man appear as an expert? Yes. He clearly knows what he's talking about. He's speaking very eloquently, very articulate in what he's saying. So if you're a prospect, you're going to think, okay, this man, woman, this person is going to be able to do the best job because they understand my business, they care about my business, and they've already gone the extra mile. This is why this is so much better than generic cold email, because you are literally the only option. You are one of one, okay? And everybody wants to be one of one.
The cost per lead, the cost per call, the booking rate, the show rate, the close rate on. You only need 140 investors to hit $10 million in capital raised. With the systematic funnel, that's not a pipe dream. That's an actual plan. You don't have to learn Facebook. Incredible. You're a first-generation immigrant whose parents taught you the value of hard work, and now you're on a mission to build generational wealth for families who thought investing wasn't even for them. That's a story that deserves to be heard by millions, not just your 616 Instagram followers. Look, I drove from Iowa to Chicago at 1 a.m. in the middle of winter. I jumped into Lake Michigan when the water was 31 degrees and there was snow on the ground. I built your entire funnel before you even asked for it. I'm not here to pitch you. I'm here because I know I can help you scale from $3 million to $10 million and beyond. So here's what's gonna happen next. You're gonna watch this video, you're gonna open the Gamma doc, you're gonna see the funnel that I built for you, and you're gonna realize that this is exactly what you've been missing. Then you're gonna send me your calendar link, and I'm going to book our onboarding call. So just like our awesome day in the city has to come to an end, so does this video. I'll see you on the onboarding call. We have lots of work to do, so let's get started.
Amazing. Do you see he was very aggressive? He wasn't saying to them, oh, I'm looking for, he said, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. He was hyper aggressive with it. And you can be aggressive with it because you've created such a good outreach. And of course, you might not be able to close immediately. It's a sales cycle at the end of the day, but you're now in the conversation and you're one of one. If they're thinking about different vendors, they're not, if there's other vendors, they're not gonna think about them. They're gonna think about you, because you drove to a freezing lake and risked death to work with them. Of course, they're gonna wanna work with you. And this just shows how incredible the system is, and Aiden's done it, and it's absolutely cooked. Did so well, and booked a call and closed from it. So you've got to just think cold email, generic, or being able to become one of one. And that's why I'm so passionate about this system. And this is why this is turning cold leads into absolutely red hot leads who are saying, take my credit card. And it's absolutely pivotal that you do this in order to stand out in 2026, especially with AI. Anyways, watch this video next to learn about all the other systems that I utilize and all the other things that I can do. All the other things you can do, to scale your agency with outbound, because creative outbound is the biggest opportunity to gain right now. Anyways, see you in the next video.